Hi, I'm Alex from Southern Ukulele Store. This week we're going to look at 5 ukuleles that kind of get lost in the shuffle. They're either unique at their price, maybe they're something that an established brand does that you don't know about. Either way, I'm hoping at the end of this video there's going to be at least one ukulele that you've never thought about before that you're thinking, oh, that might be the one for me. Anyway, we're going to start with something unique. We're going to start with a Chris Perkins tenor ukulele. If you don't know who Chris Perkins is, you're in for a treat. Listen to this. Well, you've just heard it, but here it is. This is a Chris Perkins tenor. Chris is a UK-based luthier. What we like about him is the unusual shapes of his ukuleles. The voicing and the feel is almost a bit cello-like. Chris builds ukuleles, I believe he told me, because that's the width of his workshop under his house. You know, he has a bench, he can't build guitars. He began building ukuleles, and there's a level of detail in Chris's work which over the last 7-8 years has just continued to impress us. It's the most English folk sounding ukulele out there. Builders like Pete Howlett are fantastic at making these historic ukuleles built on the tradition of the ukulele. Whereas I feel like there's something about a Chris Perkins which is almost like the has the soul of a folk acoustic guitar. This is made out of American black walnut. Typically the ukes we get from Chris are made out of English woods or woods that are indigenous to our region, but the American black walnut it is, but it does have English sycamore binding. So the front and back binding and back trim on this ukulele are sycamore along with the butt of the ukulele. You have a gorgeous looking bridge, a really nice feature on this instrument. Very simple, very, very clean, with sycamore bridge pins. You have a Korean nut and saddle on this ukulele, a synthetic material, with a 38mm nut width. The neck is mahogany. You've got some gorgeous open gear tuners here with wooden buttons, and I like that the headstock is a light sycamore colour and it's contrasted by the darker wood of these buttons. There's something about what Chris does. You know, it's at the high end. It's an alternative to, say, a Kanile'a K1 or a Koa, but if you're after something a bit deeper, a bit richer, you want a tenor scale instrument, but you want the voicing of a baritone. That's something that Chris does very, very well. Let's give this ukulele a play and see what you think. Let's take a look now at a Kanile'a OHA ukulele. This is a K1T. Kanile'a were working on the OHA series for 5 years before they launched it this time last year. We had a very, very big initial batch of them. They're very scarce now. This is the last one on the first run of these. And it's the only run apparently that will have the K brand logo. Kanile'a are switching it up in the future runs to have the OHA logo on them. I think because they're too similar to a Hawaiian Kanile'a. I think there's something romantic, there's something almost important for some people about buying a Hawaiian-made ukulele from a Hawaiian company. But Kanile'a with the OHA series were trying to bridge that gap in the same way Koa had successfully done previously with the OHA, with the Opio ukuleles, and Pepe Ramiro has done with the Ramiro Creations ukuleles. Kanile'a just trying to bridge that gap, get more people playing Kanile'as, and creating that brand loyalty at every price point. This is all Hawaiian koa, all solid, and the spec of these ukuleles mirrors Kanile'a's pre-2019. You have an Indian rosewood fingerboard and bridge. The bridge pins on this are plastic, they're not wood like a Hawaiian-made Kanile'a. You have that 38mm nut width, it's still an ebony faceplate with a K-brand logo. You have a satin mahogany neck going down to a high gloss, and it's a polyurethane, you know, it's a kind of harder gloss finish. It's not Kanile'a's newer UV gloss finish. And I think the gloss is the only thing that makes it sound different or feel that different to your average Kanile'a ukulele. The bracing is the newer type of bracing, the true R bracing with the honeycomb type structure to it. Yeah, I'm surprised this ukulele's still here, to be honest with you, after nearly 12 months. It's been reduced from $999 to $799, which is crazy because the ukulele in quality, for those that have aspired to own a Hawaiian ukulele but can't, this is such a win in every respect. But hey, sometimes ukuleles stick around longer than we expect and we don't know why. That's why I'm making this video, I guess, for this ukulele. This is the K01T. Let's give it a play and see what you think. Okay, next up we have one of the best ukuleles you've never heard of. This is an Ohana TK-450. Ohana have been making limited runs and kind of rare wood models for well over 10 years, and we've always had a smattering of them. Whether it's redwood, koa, mango, they always offer something a bit special. And I think the lines have been blurred, and that's what makes this more unique, because you have Brad in Long Beach making US-made Ohana ukuleles now. And then you have the standard Ohana kind of factory runs of instruments. And this ukulele sits somewhere right in the middle. It's all solid Hawaiian koa. It's a really lovely piece of Hawaiian koa. If this was on a Kanile'a or a koa loa, someone would have snapped this up straight away. It's a satin finish. And I have to say, the satin finish and the vibe of this ukulele, very similar to a kamaka. Very mellow, very sweet. It's not trying to be the loudest ukulele in the room, but equally there's lots of expression and sustain. It's just a very confident, well-versed instrument to play. You have an Indian rosewood fingerboard and bridge on this ukulele. It's a tie-on bridge and a very cool slotted headstock. Ohana used this slotted headstock sparingly on some high-end models. I quite like it because if you just had a screw in the wall, you could use it as a wall hanger. You don't need anything special. It's actually a really cool design. And then you have antiqued tuners on the side. They are gold in some lights, slightly aged in others. In fact, as I'm filming this, I'm still trying to figure out quite what the color is, but it's a very nice sort of dusty, dirty gold color. You have a 36mm nut width on this ukulele with a really nice round C-shaped neck, similar to a kulau or a pono or a martin. In fact, a martin is another one. This reminds me of an old martin in feel and style. The sound of the uke's great. I'm going to give it a play for you now and see what you think. Next up today we have the Inui Singer RT5R. There's a few reasons I think this ukulele has flown under the radar. One, it's an Inui made out of a really lovely spruce and Indian rosewood, which we already have. We have the UT200, which is so uniquely Inui. You can't look at that design without thinking that's an Inui. The singers are made to be the same kind of feel, quality and spec as the famous Inui designs, but in a vintage style. So more like old Gibsons, old Martin guitars. They're inspired by things from 100 years ago. So it's a slightly different audience Inui are aiming for with these ukuleles. And I think the fact that this ukulele is the same wood combination and roughly the same price as one of their most famous, if not their most famous design, means people don't necessarily know it exists. It has a lemon sunburst finish, so there's a slight tinting around the outside with the kind of natural spruce colour in the middle. You have some gorgeous abalone binding with maple, and then the Indian rosewood is unstained on the back and sides. Obviously it's a normal shape, no cutaway, so slightly different sound to an Inui UT200, but a great ukulele in its own right. The feel and the nut width are the same as a normal Inui spec. The neck is a gloss finish instead of a satin, which is what you get on the Moonbird. And then you have a Singer headstock, one of the coolest headstocks in the business in my opinion, with an abalone Singer logo and then Goto planetary tuners for the back. So the DNA of this ukulele is the same as the other Inui ukuleles, it's just the singers are slightly less well known. We've had far fewer of them in the UK, and dealers in Europe have definitely featured them less. I've noticed they're just a bit more scarce. But actually the spec of this ukulele, the feel, the sound, it's very exciting. There's no reason not to love it. I think another reason we haven't featured it is because I find it very hard to roll my R's or say my R's properly. I can't do it. So when a ukulele is called an RT5R, there have been times where I've wanted to use it in a video and I've just felt I can't get my R's out today. So I'm just being honest with you now. This ukulele would have been featured in a video months ago, the last time we had one, if I had been more pronunciation minded that morning. Anyway, the singers come in a gorgeous British racing green hard case. I just drool over these hard cases when I see them, get them out of the box, I see the hard case, I just think, I want one of these ukuleles. One of the best sounding ukes here, and when we put it out on the stand at the Ukulele Festival of Great Britain recently, much like the Ohana that we've just featured, the OHA we've just featured, it's a ukulele that people pick up and play and go, I had no idea this existed. This is amazing. There's something really exciting about it. So let's give the Inui Singer RT5R a play and see what you think. The last ukulele today comes in a very cool big custom ABS flight case. I'm hoping I can get it out on camera and hold it up and make it all impressive for you. If I can open the case. This is a Tom Zan-spec E-Harp ukulele. This E-Harp, made by Tom Zan-spec, is the first E-Harp we've had in 15 years. The last one, would you believe, came from Inui and was made in collaboration with Pete Howlett. The reason I'm mentioning Pete Howlett is because that's how we got to know Tom Zan-spec. 10 years ago, he was Pete Howlett's apprentice. Tom has worked under so many world-renowned luthiers all over Europe before settling back in Germany and becoming one of basically Germany's best ukulele luthier. I'm challenging any of the other German luthiers out there to send me a ukulele, and I'll tell you myself if I think it's better. We worked with Tom at the Ukulele Festival of Great Britain recently. He had this instrument here. He displayed it and demonstrated it throughout the day on our stand, which was nice because it gave our stand a harp-like sound throughout the day. It's quite special. It's certainly niche. This ukulele has a stereo pickup, comes with a special lead that Tom has supplied. The pickup is made by Tom himself. Famously, he makes his own Zan-spec pickups, and the separation between the harp side of this ukulele and the other ukulele comes out through the amplifier. It's an E-uke because it's all solid. The body is mahogany. It's very, very slim. It's a solid block of mahogany, although the uke itself is not particularly heavy. You wouldn't find this uncomfortable to play stood up, believe it or not. But the mahogany, the front of this mahogany is really a lovely piece of wood. The back is a little bit more conventional, and it's finished in a nitrocellulose satin finish. That's something Tom does very well. He builds his ukuleles almost like violins. They're built to the point of destruction. Very, very thin, light, resonant, just gorgeous to play. The lower half of this ukulele is a traditional GCEA. The top of this ukulele you can tune how you like. There are several popular tunings. I'm going to, when I play in a moment, I'm going to tell you what tuning I used. But it's such a shame it's got to be me that plays this. All of my guys who can play ukulele really well are on holiday this week, so it will be me demonstrating this ukulele upside down. But when you play it, or when you hold it, this is what you would have. The tuners on the harp side are very, very nice. They look like they're De Jong tuners with black buttons, and then you've got some really high quality De Jong tuners for the normal 4-string side of it. Of course, if you wanted to, you could play just the 4 strings. The majority of the time, that may be the way you go, but this is a ukulele designed to play full orchestral arrangements as a one-man show, which is what Tom Zan-spec is himself, a one-man show. The uke was made by him, designed by him, with a pickup manufactured by him in Germany. A true master of his craft. The first Zan-spec ukulele I've ever had, and I'm very, very excited to play it for you now. Why is it an anomaly? Why is it in this video? Well, think about it. I'm not going to do a video comparing the top 10 harp ukuleles, am I? This is the first of its kind I've ever had in the YouTube era of Southern Ukulele Store, which is a decade now. So, just a one of a kind. I love as well, I believe the bridge on this is a single piece. The actual bridge saddle is one single long compensated saddle with the pickup going underneath, but it's 2 split pickups underneath. I mean, wow. I mean, what else is there to say about this? There's nothing else like it. You just want to hear me play it, don't you? I'm going to do that now for you. Take 489. If you're wondering how long it took me to get a take of me playing the harp ukulele upside down effectively, yeah, it took a while. There you go, folks. 5 ukuleles that, for whatever reason, we haven't featured. Maybe they're unique. Maybe you've watched the video. You know what I'm trying to say. If you have any questions, you can call us on 01202 430820. The links for all these ukuleles are in the description. Please do leave a comment about your favourite in this video, or if you have experience with any of these ukuleles, let us know. Let us know what your experiences are with the instruments in this video. I'll be back very, very soon. There's something very cool coming next week. We've got some basses that are unique to sus coming next week. We've got the Carabo ukuleles coming next week. Not the Carabo Lights, the original Carabo ukuleles coming. We've got some really cool things that I'm really excited to feature. And I wanted to just get some of these ukuleles featured before it was too late and they get lost in the shuffle or they get put a bit further down the list. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I will be back next week.